Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome to another edition of the London session. Some interesting moves just prior to the stream. Hopefully some of you guys managed to get involved. Anyway, guys, without further ado, as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. So yeah, gold obviously reacting to a 4-hour resistance level I had marked in and sent in to my members to say I was looking at some gold sells. Dropped very quickly. To be honest, I was looking for more of an upper wick to get involved in a bit of a pullback. So I was going to layer in, but I took just the small entries that broke, wanting more of an upper wick to layer in. Took a similar trade yesterday on a members only call and took the early entry on the candle form the upper wick, which eventually made a nice move. Chose to get to break even as opposed to securing profit once it started to push quite well into profit, and unfortunately took me out break even, continued, but nonetheless back on the winners list again today. So we'll see what we come up with moving forward. Quickly have a look at the news and what have we got in the way of news, if there is anything scheduled here today. All right, so we've got CPI, obviously, so it's quite a big one. We've got the pound CPI in just under 8 minutes from now. So something to be a little bit wary of, hence why GJ may be just consolidating for the time being. Did make a pretty nice, well, give us a pretty decent signal to look for a sell, to take an interruption or the entry sell on GJ, which was stopped out at break even, which I know some of the members also took, and simply following the rules spared us a loss on that one. Because as it flips, that's when we get to break even. Tapped into the bullish candle low, flipped, get to break even anticipation. It should not need to pull back up and break its own high again, and obviously it's done so spared a loss on that one. But anyway, guys, enough of that. You guys know the drill. Make sure like the stream, YouTube, TikTok. You guys know the drill as well. Smash that screen for me. And let's have a go on, guys. Any charts, any questions, any pairs you'd like me to look at, we'll get to those shortly. Without further ado, let's start with the gold. So the gold still pulling back within the current weekly candle, still a little bit surprising, to be honest, off the back of the world news, what's going on around the world. So we are forming quite a strong bearish candle. Looking at the daily, obviously the weekly we do have a high low, higher high, and the daily actually formed a doji, almost a doji candle back at a previous resistance here to the left. The current candle inside bar candle, if we were to begin to break the high of that previous daily candle, there was a high probability that we could make a deeper move back to the upside to potentially again have a crack at the all-time highs. However, we were to begin to break the low of that previous daily candle's low, and it also is a high probability that maybe it's just a pause. We're going to head back below resistance here to the left, and we could eventuate in a deeper pullback here on gold. So structurally it is bullish. Previous candle closed bullish. Look at this in the 4-hour. 4-hour looks an absolute mess, but the 30 doesn't. The minor time frames look okay because we're actually trending quite nicely within the range, but be marking just the highest point at that level and the lowest point, and obviously be adjusting these zones once we go down to the minor time frames. 30 looks very clean below the low here, so we'll just have to adjust like so. Now to the upside, it is one big zone, to be honest. Doesn't look pretty, but so there were options to take a sell just there. So again, hopefully some of you were in it. We have made some relatively clean moves. So clean move down here, clean move back up, rejection of the resistance, nice potential reversal pattern there. You got the spinning top candle, whatever you like to call it, hammer candle, closing near its low with a long upper wick at a level of liquidity. 4-hour resistance. There's a high probability. There could have been options to take it on actually this candle. I wasn't on the chart for it though at that point. Came to the charts when this candle was within over 5 minutes or so of closing, not even a couple minutes of closing, and that also provided a pretty good option to take a sell. Now onto the 15. So for me on gold, I need some support to form again, because the fact of the matter is that was the move. So I want to see a bit of support form, and then I want to see price begin to pop below. We still have the margin to the downside, so that's the good thing. It's not totally gone. Still may have a realistic sell option, trying to form support back at his previous resistance here to the left. So interesting to see if we do actually do so now. Now I'll just be awaiting my price action catalyst for an option to take a sell. Otherwise, I could look for sells upon the pullback. I might just need this zone up. I'm just going to focus on the most recent resistance for now, knowing that we are at a major level here on gold. And we're going to use, so they're going to be our zones for the time being. And at the minute, I need to wait for, again, like I mentioned, I need to wait for a bit of support to form, and then I may look for an opportunity to take a sell from below the support, or if we in fact do have the margin and a price action catalyst, take a buy from the support. And that could also be an option moving forward. So that is my opinion of the gold. It's just range bound at the minute, as it's been pretty much all week long. So that's the best way to play it at the minute, it's just range bound. Otherwise, look for things like the little interruption candles within the range, which could present. That is, again, going to be the likely opportunity at this stage. So that is my opinion of the gold, guys. Hopefully it made sense. And we'll move on to have a look at GJ with the news fast approaching in 3 minutes for the pound. All right. Moving on to the GJ and starting at the weekly. So, all right. We've obviously the previous candle closed weak bearish and long lower wick. We've since broken the high, but we're now pulling back. If we were to continue bullish, don't feel we necessarily would have needed to pull back yet again. Break our own low. Looking at the daily, a really strong bearish closure on that previous daily. It actually closed engulfing lower high, lower low in the current candle. This week's a little bit tricky. Price could form support anywhere within it, but having said that, nice strong catalyst in the previous candle, and with the candle probabilities being to the downside of the current candle, there's a high probability we could continue bearish. It's marking the low and the high of the current day, and we'll see what we've got either side of that point. All right, onto the 4 hour, and what we can see is structure wise technically bullish the way I see it. Excuse me, unless you consider that to be a swing, but candle probabilities are to the downside. So it's just marking the resistance at the current daily candle high. As far as support, we've got enough target margin to the downside in a 4 hour time frame. Let's look at it on the M30 now. Just adjust this. All right, so the M30 below the current daily candle's low. Got some very clean traffic to the left. But again, with the news being about, it's going to make things maybe a little bit tricky for the time being. Otherwise, if this candle was to actually close below that bullish candle's low, weak bullish, then I would look to sell it on the next candle. But again, with the news about, I'm not going to be actively looking to trade GJ just yet. Let's just, there we go. It's the highest point of any bearish candle at the resistance here on the 15. All right, otherwise what I'm looking for is pretty much just the pullback to sell it at this rate. As long as we remain below 195.30, I would prefer to look for options to take a sell. To the upside, I don't feel there's any real clean areas. The 15's very choppy back to the upside, so I'm just going to patiently wait for an opportunity to perhaps take a sell, whether it be upon continuation below the daily low or upon the pullback. And that is how I will be playing GJ moving forward here today, with the news in less than 1 minute. Once again, hopefully it made sense. Quickly have a look at gold. All right, so nothing just yet on gold. 5 minute forming support. All right, let's turn our attention to the pound, obviously with the news right now on for the pound CPI. All right, as the figures being released. Oh, financial juice taking a while to load. Let's just here we go. So CPI came out more, well, better than expected. Actually, well, came out as higher than expected, so it's not necessarily better, but it's good for currency strength because it means that they're less likely to cut rates if obviously inflation is going up. Yeah, so it's gone up, well, year on year anyway, this print. All right, so interesting. Yeah, because I would have thought that'd be a good thing too, but the pound, well, the pound is pumping. Sorry, take that back. I was looking at my MetaTrader, it was dumping, but now it's pumping again. So yeah, good news for the pound. So we'll see how that affects the market, and we could get maybe some options to take a sell on GJ moving forward. Alrighty guys, let me get to the chat. Welcome one and all. William, g'day to you. Good morning from South Africa. Nice to have you on stream. Kyle, Bartman, Franco, you guys rock. Appreciate it. My loyal gang on the YouTube, TikTok. Thank you to the 4 new followers. And let me sift through the chat, see if I've missed anything. A.C.T bought at 33.85. All right. Nick trades, hour closes soon, probably retract. Yep, so our lead's just closed. Arifin, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're having a better day. Not sure if you're trading after yesterday. Thief, welcome to you. Majesty, thank you for sharing a live, appreciate it. El Said, you entered buy, or you're saying to me, no, I'm not entering buy. I was just in a sell for some quick profits, but I wasn't able to get my full position in, unfortunately. So I was trying to layer in, as I did yesterday with the members on a VIP only call. Stefan, welcome to you. Hello from Melbourne. Welcome from Paris. Good to have you on the stream, mate. Nick trades because the result is lower than expected. Shouldn't G be dropping? No, not necessarily, because it still is an increase in the print of CPI. So obviously still a bit of a stubborn reading, which won't lead to, was likely less likely to lead to any interest rate cuts. So that is obviously deemed a good thing for currency strength. So yeah, I think it's doing what it normally would do in this sort of situation. Arifin, would I recommend funnel? I always lives, 100%. I'd always recommend live accounts. That's just without doubt. But the thing is, with funded accounts, obviously gives people a little bit of an opportunity to maybe perhaps get access to cash which they don't have. But again, but you still got to pay for the challenges, and the reality is, as you know, mate, it's very easy to flunk on those. Very easy to do something to screw the account. Bjorn, good morning to you. Hope you're well. Arifin made me laugh yesterday, my worst day on earth. Mate, it could be worse. It's not a tragedy. It's just got to get back. As I said yesterday, just got to jump back on the horse, saddle up, and keep going. GGPM took place yesterday at 33.78.96 after MI session when the M30 candle closed bullish, forming support. At support, what do you think about those buys? You like it? I don't know what time. Use on the charts. After the MI session? You mean after the MI open? MI open for me is 10 PM. So you're talking about here? I mean, it's pretty, not a bad reversal, potential reversal pattern just there. How you close with a long lower wick, no upper wick on that same candle. So I'm not sure how this candle formulated, but if it did create a little bit of lower wick and pop up, I probably would have looked to I would have considered an entry as well. Below support or rejects below that. What are you talking about here? Just here. Well, it looks alright. You've got multiple long wicks into the support here. Let's just see what the 15 looks like. Yeah, 15, you got a pretty nice catalyst as well. Bullish engulfing. Yeah, not sure how it, again, how it formulated. Because he looks like we've been stuck in perhaps a fair bit of drawdown. Not the worst entry. Something I would consider. Because you got a 30-minute support. Long lower wicks. You got 15-minute closing bullish engulfing as well. Lois, g'day to you. And likewise to you. Formed lower wick, then first, then popped up. Okay. So it looks like you would have had enough to secure some profit before it came back down. This is nice on JJ. This is good. Me, yours too. What, in regards to one of your worst days on the charts? Wasn't for us. Didn't get caught up in any shit trades in between. Took a high probability trade. So once again, to the members who are actively on the calls and that, been doing okay on the actual private calls, just haven't had as many opportunities during the actual stream itself. Called the 2 trades prior to today's stream. I mentioned it early up here. Both Gold and GJ. Then I mentioned it in the trade ideas section, which is, again, it's not a signal section because it's very hard to call signals just to be able to manage it and all that. But just the idea of what I was looking at. Normally I would mention here exactly what I'm looking at and wait for the upward wick and so on, but I actually mentioned it this time in the VIP chat and just setting the charts into the trade ideas section. My team. Let me share with you guys a link. New feature on TikTok. Subscription feature. I'm not too sure how to go about that, but I will eventually make some posts or maybe just a live only subscription stream from time to time. So if anyone wants to be the first sub, go ahead, guys. Not sure how it works. It's probably the same as YouTube members. I'll look into it more, guys, and I'll provide more benefits. We'll do the occasional just sub-only stream. And 1, 2, 3, you're in USD CAD sells. JJ's looking good. I like Facts making clean moves. USD CAD. Fixed the issue with my broker, which was driving me nuts yesterday in regards to the lag. You're in sells, yeah, looks not too bad. If you're in from higher up, you've broken some structure at 15, or really not really, the way I see it. BR cranks some lower highs, lower lows. You got the daily forming bearish. Add some resistance here to the left. 4 hour has flipped bullish. Nice strong closure on the previous bearish candle. If this candle breaks zone low, good chance it will continue bearish. 30-minute is also bullish. Just a slow trickle at the minute. It's not a pair I would personally, unless you're swing trading it and you obviously have to be stuck in it during this sort of time of day. Not a pair I would scalp this time of day, with both pairs being technically out of session. Yeah, personally for me, if I was not, in which I'm not, in a UCAD sell or trade, I'd probably look for either, it's not really the margin to buy it, so I'd be looking for a pullback to reject or sells below low. You were nice buys yesterday too. Nice one. Yeah, the buys USD CAD look pretty good. It's been a bit of an uptrend. Pippo, why not sell at level rather than buying? On what pair are we talking about? Alright, so we'll keep a bit of an eye on GJ. It's actually looking a lot better than gold at the minute. 1, 2, 3, I've secured my profit, moved stop loss to entry. True, I don't usually trade at London. Nice one. Well, as long as you're managing, mate, and you're in profit and you're at stop losses at entry. Well done. Market ATU. Also have high impact news today. I should check that. I honestly just obviously just focused on CPI for the pound. Unemployment claims to come for the US dollar. Big day, obviously huge day with FOMC. Yeah, so big few days even for the pound tomorrow. The Aussie dollar as well, and with obviously all else that's going on. Again, I've heard different opinions from different analysts about what could happen in regards to the war and effects on the markets. Some are saying it's a nothing burger and it'll be sorted very quickly. Some are still calling for oil to be up around the $120, $130 a barrel, which will make inflation go crazy worldwide. If that's the case, it's going to make things difficult. Me, not an analyst to be able to give you guys that my opinion of what will happen. I have no idea, but all I know is if they cut off oil supply, not going to be great. Zimbabwean dollar versus Libyan dinar. Dinar. No, I don't think I can, to be honest. I think you're taking a piss. Link trades gold. Yeah, it needs to form support now. Like I mentioned before, the entries were here. Probably if I was on the charts, I would have taken an entry there, I reckon. 100%. Not sure how it worked though. For all I know, it could have popped down, popped back up, down, up, which may have meant I got stopped out. I'm not sure. Break even or whatever. And then eventually closed strong. I have no idea. But if it created the upper wick and broke the low, 100% I've been looking to take that trade. So Mr. B, I was on the charts for that. But again, what my plan was for this candle to create more of an upper wick and to begin to layer in to take the first sell. Once it pulls back at least 10 to 15 pips or so, that's what I did yesterday. Take option 1. And then as it flips and breaks the low, that's where I would have gone for option 2. But in this case, it just created a small, tiny upper wick, not even that big. And then begun to break the low. So I only had a small order in at that point. But a nice quick move. Yeah. What's that mean? With 10 wins, 3 losses, and 1 break even for the month. Oops. Yeah, to me, GJ looks a lot better than gold at the minute. Mark, apparently global economy is forecast to improve. No idea how. Yeah, well, I heard the same. Citibank Group are predicting that, and that's why they're predicting gold to be back around 2,500 by mid next year. Big Zoos and Zimbabwean dollar moves 1,000 ticks a day, bro. You're missing out. Yeah. How about the spreads? How about the gaps and all that? Not interested in trading it, mate. So that was yesterday's trade of the members. Price create the upper wick. That's when I start to layer in. Sorry guys, I've been slack. My team have not added it to the channel yet. I will do so some point later today. Mark, gold goes down that much would be good. It actually would be good news because that would mean that obviously people are likely spending. Economies around the world are likely on the uptick. It means there's more risk on. People are happier with what they're seeing. People obviously pumping more into equities and that as well. They're feeling safe and happy. Not sure if that is the actual case though. Nick Trades, do you like Melbourne from Sydney? Never. I've honestly, I've only driven through like the outskirts of Sydney. Never actually been into the main CBD. I've never actually stayed in Sydney. Yeah. I mean, Melbourne's quite beautiful, but I suppose like anywhere else, when you live there, it's boring. Right now, it's cold. Uptrend, diamond emoji. Quinton, good morning. Are you expecting a buy or sell on gold? Well, I'm waiting for it to form some support so I can potentially look for a sell below the support, but it's just, again, the moves came early today. So option, the one I took was there. Dims 070. FOMC today, what P on? Yeah, I won't be trading FOMC at 4 AM in the morning. Think of much better things to do at 4 AM in the morning, like sleep. Market drops below 2,500. I'm buying physical. Oh man, I'm still buying physical, but yeah, I mean, if it drops to that price, I'll be buying a lot more physical. Look at this, guys. How long have I been talking about it? Silver. It has taken a lead from gold. That is usually how you know you're in a metals bull market. When silver takes the lead and it moves a lot quicker than what gold does because it's a smaller market, it doesn't take as much to actually move it. So gold's been struggling, it's been pulling back, and silver's been pumping. So silver is one of the opportunities of a lifetime. I've been stacking it for best part of about 3 years now. If you don't own it, you don't hold it. Physical stuff, it's not yours. Anything could happen. Watch gold just drop straight down and that's it. Doesn't trigger any buys, just straight bearish candles. Beautiful, GJ. Now we're talking. It's tapped in. In all honesty, I want this to close. Oh, sorry if this closes bearish, but I'd like to see a support form from this level, because the 30 overrides the 15. The 30 is still closing quite strong bullish. Look at that reaction to that zone. Maxi power, can't predict shit. You can't predict shit. Shit happens when you need to go to the toilet. Hocus pocus. No one can predict the future, but I've been mentioning this for so long about silver. God knows how long now. My guys have not. I've been mentioning it since I started my group. Before that, on the streams, before I actually started my group. And to be honest, I'd love for it to tank, so I can just buy more. That's all. You'll lose your pants, bro. No, nah, my pants fit fine, my friend. My pants are nice and snug. They're not gonna fall off. What are you talking about in regards to what? Silver? Or gold? Buying gold? Is this another crypto, bro? These counts don't mean anything when I start buying or selling. I don't give a shit. I'm just trading in line with them. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not predicting. I don't predict, I react. I always say it. I'm not predicting shit. When people say to me, do you think gold's gonna go up or down? Fuck if I know. Excuse the French, but it's true. How do I know? I react to my signals. $2, GJ. Yep, I can see, but I need to wait for confirmations here. Tony Gold, good day to you. Maxi powered. If that's your opinion, so be it. No one's asking you or forcing you to be here. So if you disagree with what I say and what I do, just bugger off, mate. Simple. Why are you wasting your time? It's idiots like you who have nothing better to do but sit there on the other end of a phone or a computer and waste the time poking shit at someone who's trying to provide some free education, some advice, general chit chat, a community. You're just a low life scumbag, mate. That's all. I'm sorry, that's 100% true. Long-term investing is key, mate. Since when did I say I'm talking short-term on silver? Is this guy dumb as dog shit or what? I've been calling this thing since $23, I think it was. I've honestly been buying this thing since back below here for the last 3-4 years. What out of that what gives you the impression I'm not talking about long term? I've got the physical shit here, some of it. You gotta laugh. These characters on TikTok sometimes, honestly. I love it. Absolutely love it. Tony, don't enter yet? No, there is no entry yet. The entry came here, guys. Again, I can't help when the entries present, whether it be before stream, on stream, or after stream. Nothing I can do about it. It's my responsibility to react when I see it happening. That's all I can do. Maxi Power, why am I showing short-term candles, bro? Well, bro, because this is a trading stream. I'm looking at short-term positions, scalps. So if I'm looking for swing trades, it's a different story. But that's not what I'm doing. So it makes sense to look at the short-term candles if you're trying to scalp, my friend. Once again, no one forces you to be here, mate. It's called scalping. It is exactly a scalping, Mark, isn't it? Again, Maxi Power, if you think that's nonsense, then why are you here? Why are you wasting your time? Because the majority on this stream are scalpers. I do both, but when it comes to long-term stuff, I'm not paper trading this shit. When I'm talking about paper trading, I'm not talking about trading, CFDs or what's called futures. Because if you don't hold it, you don't own it. When I'm talking about long-term stuff, I'm talking about the physical and ownership of it. So if you're talking in regards to longer-term investing, as you mentioned, the way I go about it is, in my opinion, the only way to go about it. I physically own it, I physically hold it, not be taken away from me. Been hearing some interesting stories about some of what are deemed to be the more legitimate brokers, regulated brokers, which really makes me wonder, to be honest, is it worth having any substantial cash on any brokerage? I don't know. Because even the more reputable ones have had a few instances of late incidents which put me off, to be honest, a little bit. All right, let's see if gold can provide and maybe a little interruption play on the 5-minute. Doesn't look likely, but we will see. Yeah, Maxi Power. To who? Maybe for you, because you have no idea how to go about it. But for other people, myself, some of my team, who I've been training with and known for quite a while, it's not. We can make it work. All right, GJ, 15 closing bearish after tapping in. Yeah, we want to see, because the 30 overrides the 15, so we want to see now a bit of a reaction here on the 30. We'd like to see preferably the 30 closing back bearish. So a bit of time yet on GJ, but we've still got plenty of time till session open. And gold, I don't have any support. Got the 5-minute, but it's a slow trickle. It's not valid on the interruption plays. It's not closed more than 10 pips below. So once again, gold entries had to have come from higher up a little bit earlier. Maxi Power, so again, why the fuck are you on this stream? If you're that well off, why would you bother wasting your time? Nah, definitely no tarot cards here, my friend. Again, I don't predict. I don't predict shit. I react. Knowing that sometimes when I react, it's not going to be a win, but the majority of the time it will be. That's all I do. Jeez, you get some vlogs about, don't you guys? A dude with a freaking private account. What a flog. Oh, he won't be showing up in the stream anymore. He's gone. GU, Dre Day, GU, let me look at GU. So obviously the news about is bearish. It's definitely bearish. Wow, what a sell from GU. I hadn't realized, to be honest. All right, let's do the analysis. Weekly forming a strong bearish candle, pretty much engulfing, has engulfed, but since pulling back to just above the low of the previous weekly. Look at the level though. Very strong level of resistance here to the left that we are trying to hold and turn to support. Quite evident here in the daily as well. Daily inside bar candle. Tommy got 90 position on G. Excuse me. Structure on the daily is, look, you could argue both ways, to be honest. I'd call it bearish. 4 hour is also technically bearish. It's actually bearish across the board, but fact of the matter is, as far as where it's bouncing off the previous support here to the left, I don't think I'd prefer the buy options. 30-minute. Yeah, a bit late for buys. I'll be looking for the sells then based off that, because the bias is bearish. The 30-minute, I just want to see a bit of reaction. We've added resistance here. We are looking like we could potentially reject, so I'd want to see the 30-minute close back bearish. Within it, if you got a catalyst on the 15, whether it be bearish engulfing or strong bearish weak bullish, and then its price begins to break, you'd be looking for options to take it sell, otherwise sells from lower down. For the buyers, I'd be looking for it to now maybe make the clean pullback and look to buy it from lower down, or at least make a bit of a pullback and then close above what might be the resistance forming. Whoops. It sells. Nice one. If there sells, mate, good work. All right, we need to trigger in some buys here on the 15. Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely sells. Nice one. Needs to trigger in buys. HKJ 203, I'm new to this. When finding conferences, do you look at the front of graph? I look at current price action. So yeah, and also I look to see what levels we're at. So what's to the left? For instance, if we're bouncing off this support, it's a 4 hour level. If we form bullish engulfing like we have here, that's another confluence. You got the candle itself. your catalyst, you got it at the level of support. You may have structure and things like that on your side at that point, who knows. Doge's shame though, I'm sure we could all learn a lot from the multi-million. Yeah, exactly. Tony short in Tokyo 1 hour after that, you know. On what, gold? Yeah, Mark, it's just one of the rare few. Got nothing better to do. Oh, it's another one. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Paul? Yeah, I know, man. It's a bit of fun sometimes, but sometimes they just stretch a little bit too far. Merchant banker, that's what that vlog was. A Wayne Kerr for sure. Some good old Aussie slang, guys. Headsmark, g'day to you. Do you think the conflict between Israel and Iran will cause gold price to fall or rise? I will, as the majority would have predicted, I would have thought it may go up, to be honest. I think it is a safe haven asset. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe the markets know something we don't know. And I've heard some world analysts suggest that it will be over quickly. That there's nothing major going to come out of it, that Iran are willing to speak to the US, but who knows, because you hear that quite often and nothing eventuates. And I've heard that it's going to escalate into World War III, so I mean, make of that what you will. No one knows. No one knows, but all I know is there is conflict spreading worldwide, even in areas that people wouldn't even know, to be honest, of there being any conflict. Loyalty family AU. Yeah, similar to GU, I'd be looking for sales. It's pulling back up to resistance. It's bearish here by the looks of things. Yeah, I'd definitely be looking for sales. The best area at this rate would be below the support here, back below 6,500 flat. Psychological round number. Yeah, that's all I'd be looking for. Because if you're not in a buy from lower down, you're, in my opinion, a bit too late. Let's mark it up on a 4 hour here. So if you're playing the 4 hour range, you got to look at it in this way, where you're almost 2/3 into it. So you're kind of a little bit late to the party, and you're at a minor resistance here as well. So I would prefer to look for an opportunity to take a sell the back of the level we're at. $2 to dollars USD CAD. Had a look at it just before. Yeah, so making a bit of a pullback. It's bullish though. It's very bullish. For me, I probably, because look at the trickle down. When something's in an uptrend, how often do you see it trickle down where it looks like, you know, if you're looking at higher time frames, looks like perhaps there was a nice easy sell. But when you go down to the 30 and 15, you see it's anything but, as a scalper anyway. So I'd like to see volume come in where it beats the upside, and then maybe look to sell upon rejection, or preferably in the uptrend to the downside, clean it down, form support, and then look to trade it back up. I wouldn't be trading it this time of day. No way. Good old gold. All right, GJ still could present for London Open. Still not running off gold. We still have margin to the downside here. Some people just don't have the ability to just scroll past Karen. All weekend they were sending pew-pews. Most thought it would fly Monday. It didn't. Yeah, well that's... I thought it would, in all honesty. Dogen? Yeah. I think that's a good point as well. It's pretty funny because he said at the beginning they had nothing to do with it. Then he said he knew of it. He knew what was happening. So, yeah. I mean, who knows? No, he did leave the G7. Was it G7? No, not G7. NATO meetings? Pretty sure it was NATO. He left it early. He wrapped his side of things up early to get back to the White House because of the conflict. Alright. Where's it needs to close below, which is not going to do anyway. Where's the low? Being a bit lazy here. Really about... I can just do that, can't I? 33, 38, 57. So 33, 32, 57. $33. Hold on. 33, 82, 57. No, I got 33, 80, 33, 33, 79, 33. Oh man, I'm screwing this up. 33, 30, 33, 81.24, 33, 80.24. Has to close below there for a very cheeky little interruption on the 5 minute. That's 10 pips below that bullish candle's low, and it's not done it, so it's not valid. I've taken it before on a 5 minute with success, the little interruption play. Doge's still been better the last 2-3 weeks for swings. Not sure. And scalp still learning. Yeah, I don't scalp it. Oh, it was G7. Okay. Oh, man, there it goes. Stanley Dean? No, I was in a trade before the stream, well before the stream. On a gold sell from up higher. Not gotten back in because I've not had a valid re-entry. Alright, this is better. This is good. We have a weak bullish closure here on the M15. So we wanted to create a decent upper wick just now. We want to pull back a little bit further. Because then if it closes weak bullish, it'll still be below the 0.382 and then we'll have a valid sell and a break of minor support at session open if it is to present. But if it's do what every other candle's done, create a decent upper wick and then just continue to drop, and there's nothing to do about it. So I'm not chasing the sells without it resetting. And for me, if it does, again, create a substantial upper wick and then close weak bullish, then it's reset for a sell. Breaks the minor support. Paul, that's, mate, you're doing well if you got your stop loss in profit. Lewis, what I was going to say was desk. Yeah, I know. It is. In all honesty, it's very, very sad. I see what it's like here too. There's just, it's out of hand. The youth, especially youth crime, and not just youth crime, but gang-related crime, machete attacks and that. It's gone absolutely bizarre. Like, people have just gone nuts these days. I don't know if it's COVID. It was started before that either way. But the brains are fried of the average person. And I'm not trying to be a smart ass or rude prick or whatever. It's just reality. You see it all the time on the street now. Just sad, but you see people obviously under the influence of something. You know, our lovely Premier, fantastic lady she is, thinks to stop a problem, all you do is outlaw the weapon. Nothing to do with the people actually wielding the weapon. They're not the issue. What do you think of that? It's got nothing to do with the people holding the weapon. It's the weapon itself. So you got people who, instead of now using machetes, they'll use axes or kitchen knives or guns or whatever. Oh, we'll ban it for 3 months. That's the solution. That's her solution. Not put the people away and put them away for a long, long time. Because that does nothing. If you do the crime, you should do the time. And obviously there's help. And if you get the help and you abide by the laws of society, not saying laws are great, most of them are shit, but if you don't inflict harm on others, then obviously I wish everyone luck, and I believe people do deserve a chance to prove otherwise. But the issue isn't the bloody weapon, it's the people. That's Melbourne for you. All right, GJ. Loading family buying at that point if it closes 15 bullish, 30-minute fair value gap and at previous fire. Fair enough. $2, EU, exact same as GU and AU, exact same. Just pulling back. If you're not in a buy, you're late to the party, so I'd be looking for sellers on the pullback. The only other way I would consider a buy if this closes weak, bullish in the bearish in the M15. If the new candle London Open creates a lower wick, you've still got margin to the upside if it begins to break. Alright, Skull needs to reject and close weak bullish. To me and Chloe, markets are very good. Markets are always good if you follow your plan. And you know it works for you. You're gonna have the times where it doesn't. You'll have a couple of days where it doesn't. But you can't just, you know, throw it away and brush it aside. It's just, you gotta keep going. GJ Lani steam wash, sell or no? What, on gold? Not in a minute, no. We could have a buy option here too. 30 closes like so. Then we've got a bullish engulfing 15. What other confluences do we have? So we're not really tapping into much. That's the concern. We're not tapping into support. Let's check the structure properly. Alright. So that was the low. We flipped, or we created a lower low here, confirm. Flip bullish here. Flip back bearish, flip back bullish. Alright, so we're technically bullish on a 30. Technically bullish here on a 30. 15 is potentially closing bullish engulfing as well. Would love for it to have done that at this support. That's the only concern. But price action catalyst, we actually might have something here to the upside now. You're looking at a fair wide stop loss. Some 60 plus pips. It's a high 33, 85, 56. Yeah, about 63 pips, roughly. So if it does close bullish engulfing, you definitely need a decent little wick. And that would be a way to help manage a trade. So we could look at potential options to buy it. Because we are technically bullish here on the 30. So we could just create that higher low just now to retest the high. Previous 4 hour did actually close bullish. We're still only an hour into the new candle. We don't have much of an upward wick. Hourly doesn't look great for the buys. So we'll see. It has to close strong. Yes, gold retest of support, and that's the other thing it could do. USO long. It could definitely do that. So for the sells, it has to close below there. It trades with 30-minute charge difference mine. This gold and trade me. Yeah, it probably depends on a broker. I'm looking at Forex.com. Gold looks bearish. Yeah, it does look quite bearish. I'm waiting for it to close below that horizontal low to confirm a option to take a sell. If not, it's gonna be a little bit too of a strong of a closure on the 15. 30's not looking that bad though. Does look like a potential pause candle here on a 30. Gold sells look, in all honesty, they do not look bad at all. Because we've paused here on a 30 potentially as well. Definitely need an upper wick. Nice rejection on the 5-minute as well. Yeah, so we could be looking at some options to sell below low. So that would be around 3379.24. Need the upper wick at session open. Burrito still sell buys. Where we're at, yeah, I'd still like to sell it back down to the support. Time frame sideways. Yep, it is. All right, guys. So we could be looking at options to sell it. It's going to close below 50. So that's important too. If it closes below 50 as well, that's not that bad of a catalyst. It's not as strong as the 0.382. So it's closed just below it. Need an upper wick. I need to travel around 30 pips. It needs an upper wick though. Session open. We need a bit of an upper wick. And then we could potentially look for some sells because we've got the upper wick now. And I would place the stop above the upper wick of whatever the high of the current candle is. Quickly look at GJ. Yeah, nothing on GJ. Looks pretty crap at the minute. All right. So 30, it's closed, weak bearish. Bloody IC markets. It's actually still open on that. God knows. So I like the weakness in that bullish candle. We finally triggered in some buyers. Looking at entry around 24. 33.79.24. Below 5-minute support as well. Clean traffic to the left. Hourly is the one off-putting thing here because it is pretty much out of support. Well, Porsche analysts reckon this war continues. All barrels surge through 300. I've not heard that, but wow. Brokers just liquidity provides some good, some shit, some right. Yeah. Some very rogue ones. Yeah, to be honest, guys, I don't like it. The hourly. It's very hard to ignore that. The fact that it's at support. 4 hours as well. There's no way I'm going to take that. No way I'm going to take that. You gotta think the higher time frame overrides. It's not me avoiding a trade, it's just true. It's reality. It's at support here. As much as I want to try to find one, it's not going to be there. What I would prefer to do is look for a catalyst to buy it, which I don't yet have. So what would be great here is if it actually taps into the support where the zone begins on the alley and then bounces and forms some support at price action catalyst. Can turn later. 100 wouldn't sell? Yeah, no, I don't like it, to be honest. Again, the reality is it was in a sell from here. Secure profit on that. Why am I going to try to sell into the hourly support without a really strong reason to do so? Just think you're in a buy. Okay, yep. Buys would be nice if we can find an entry. I don't have any catalyst to buy it though. Tony Fed will keep rates up, so keep a look. USD, JPY in London, and NY for long. Yeah, from what I'm hearing as well, they're less likely to cut. Well, it won't be any need to cut if oil goes through the roof, to be honest. So what that's likely going to do, it's going to make inflation go through the roof. There'll be less spending from in the economy. People will have less money to spend. People will be out of work. So as good as it might be for gold prices to go up and some safe haven assets, is actually quite bad for the average person. Definitely need the engulfing play if you were to consider anything. But again, it's just very risky selling into 1 hour and 4 hour support. What else? GA. Oh, did it close weak enough to take that entry I mentioned before? Wrong way around. Not quite. Oh, GU did. So that's the closure I would want to see on EU, and that would have been a valid entry. And look what's happening on GU here. That's the weak pause. So it's to my guys watching this who often get confused between the interruption and the pause play within the zone. This is the pause play. So you've got a weak bearish pause after a move impulse. It's when you use the fib to determine whether or not it's weak or strong, and if it's weak you can look for an impulse entry as it breaks the high if you've got clean traffic to the left. And the interruption entry follows that entry. So the close is strong bullish engulfing. In this case, that's when you can look for the interruption play. Euro CAD at resistance. London session has been rank, really rank for the best part, for the most part. All right, GJ. Now I'd want to wait for a 30 here because we have, once again, we've created a high low high high at the minute. It's going to be quite a wide stop based off just the 15. Creates a top wick in the top of the alley. It's got to be of a top wick. So what are you saying, you would sell it now? That's pulling back to create more of a top wick. Oh, yeah. Not on the top. Are you talking about what, the previous counter, or you're not too sure? Yeah, I look for longs on GJ. I'm looking for shorts if we do rejects. We are still in, where I sit, bearish on the 30 here. This Forex Keyline session has been atrocious. It has not been great, in all honesty. Every single trade I've pretty much taken has come either side of it. Win, lose, or draw. For the most part, they've been wins. But it's fact. London session, maybe it's because they're all on hold, God knows, but it has been, for the most part, really, excuse me, rank of past few weeks. Maybe for those trying the 5 minute and that, it's had plenty of opportunities. Maybe for those trading in 1 minute, you've had plenty of opportunities. But for the way I trade, I've not had plenty of opportunities at all. Yeah, I just need to accept it, not force it, and that's it. It's just part of trading. It's not meant to be exhilarating. It's not meant to be an adrenaline rush. It's meant to be boring. It's meant to test your patience and discipline. Definitely test your emotions. All right, so for longs, again, I need a candle. So the 30-minute engulfing would be 1. Better yet is if this 15 closes really strong and followed by a little weak pause on the next M15. Love Faith Lifestyle. Do I have a video for complete beginners, please? I do on my profile page. So it's the video, it's probably about 3 lines down or something. 3, yeah, roughly. And it's got only 400 and something views. The rest around it all have at least a couple of thousand. 2, 3, 4,000. And it's a quick guide. It goes for like 8 minutes, and it literally shows you everything, like how to set up an account for broker and all that. And it's not like I'm affiliated to any broker, so it's up to you what broker you choose. I do give what I recommend, but I couldn't care less if you choose to go that way or a different broker or whatever. Yeah, but I do have a video there explaining things for beginners. Unfortunately, I can't share links into the TikTok chat. It just doesn't let you. But otherwise, DM me and I'll share it with you. I'll share the video. Darcy, yes. Love Faith Lifestyle, all good. All good. Yeah, so it's literally for beginners. Just a little introduction about what Forex is and yeah, how to go about setting things up. Nick trades, so I use IC markets. I've been hearing stories. Love Faith Lifestyle. Do you train? Mentor? Yes, I do have a group. It's all there in the on the profile page. Just yeah, the links are all there. It's all very reasonably priced, very cheap actually, to be honest, for what it is. But it's all good. I enjoy helping my guys. I enjoy seeing development. The reality is not everyone's going to be, it's not going to be for everyone. Some will make it work, some, no matter how hard they try, that unfortunately won't work for them. I've had some fantastic results, and I've had, again, others that for whatever reason I can't get it to work. But all I can say is, if you trust in me as a mentor and coach, I will do my utmost to help all of you out. Always there for my guys, always answering questions. I get DMs daily from them, not all of them, but obviously by a few, and I encourage it, strongly encourage it. I mentioned it yesterday or the day before. No matter who your mentor is, if you have one, pick the brain out of him, ask questions. You might think you're driving them crazy, but if they're if they have any concern for actually helping, they should feel privileged that you actually are seeking the advice. To me, it's no annoyance whatsoever. I appreciate it, and I'm more willing to help those who seek it, put more effort into them. I strongly encourage it all the time in my group, to share ideas, ask questions, go through the content, ask for feedback, question me. Why do I like that particular, what exactly will make that valid, or why isn't this valid, why is that valid, why is that good entry and why is this not, or things like that. Darcy, it's all done through my accountant, so I download the file or files at the end of the financial year, and obviously to have the business as well, so it's all done through that. I mean, you can claim lot sizes and that, commissions as expenses. There are ways to get around it. I mean, tax, you're always gonna have to pay something. But admittedly, my account isn't that big to worry so much about it at this stage. Yeah, I mean, it's still something to be of concern about, that's for sure. Still a bit of cash going around. Because I like to use MagicKeys, you cannot use an EA toolkit on TradingView. It's just, you can't use it. I find it easier to trade through MagicKeys. Often at times, you guys are seeing when I get involved in trades, sometimes it's literally 10-15 seconds and it's popped straight to TP1. And without an EA toolkit to manage my entry, I may have missed out on the profit. Gold 9 minutes. For buyers, we need to close bullish engulfing here. Very simple. On the 15, and that will close the M30 back. Relatively strong bullish with a higher low, but lower high. But I'd still trust it off the back of the 15 within the 30. Derek Holmes dropped the fair value up. Yeah, personally, I don't trade him. Which pair is this? This is gold. Agnor, good morning to you. Trading gold, yeah, looking at it, but no trade. Trade came earlier today. Trade came up here. Director Holmes, how to predict a rally? Well, unfortunately, for me, I don't predict. I react. a rally, you're probably looking for it to happen at a strong level of support. So for instance, if gold was to pull back here, it is at a very strong level of support here on the 4 hour, which taps into another level here to the left, lines up with some previous resistance, but you need to see the momentum step in at that point. And for me to maybe consider some backing on a bit of a rally would be bounce off this support, break through a resistance, and trend to the upside. Predict that, I mean, it's impossible to predict, in all honesty, because you don't have a crystal ball to know what's going to happen. You can call it, and you can, I suppose you can say that's the same as predicting. You can anticipate, but I react. That's what I do. Agnon went from 3384 to 3382 this morning. Took the elevator up and down yesterday. Nice one. Ash, I think 33.7 was last pull back before all-time high, 33.70. Support here. Again, no one knows. At the moment, we're just range bound. Crudo, am I going to answer breakout? There is no breakout at the minute. I really wanted to move to the upside. All right, if it pops down to the hourly support, so this is the hourly support, that horizontal. Be okay if it popped down, tapped into it, and bounced. I'm reluctant to sell below it because of the level it's at. This is gold. Ignore gold is bear on all scanners here at least 3 hours, looking bull to me, but scanners say bear. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have a contrarian view of things as well at times. To be honest, I do. Whatever the media says, I just believe the opposite, because it's all filtered news. It's, you know, apart from crimes and shit which go on in society, which is unfortunate, all the major news is just what they want you to know. Derek, buy side liquidity potentially. No, I don't check Audible. Nothing against that, I just haven't bothered, to be honest. To me, I don't necessarily need to look at it. What I do works for me. Maybe in the future I might look into it. Marindra, too risky to buy. Well, there's no confirmation for anything at the minute. Had the hourly support not been right there, I'd be looking to sell it if this candle closed. Strong bearish below. Hourly, mate. Sorry, it's just the Aussie accent. Discipline's key training is based on how you live. You can't control your own mind and analyze your decision and be disciplined, you won't make. Yeah, it's a good point too. It's true. If you have no control or self-control, and you're shit, words left my mind. You're impulsive, reckless, then you're likely gonna have issues because you're likely gonna treat it the wrong way. Likely gonna treat at that point a bit like a casino, and you might get lucky sometimes, but you're eventually gonna blow it. Vivek, UL confirmation. GJ closure below support just formed on the 15 in gold. This rate, I want it to close above that point, preferably tapping into this level first, because the tapped in that would confirm a tap into the hourly support. Ignore when passing 3400. Yeah, I like it above 3405. how do I find that support? So I start in the 4 hour. So really the 4 hours up here. And then I adjust it accordingly on the minor time frame. So down to the 30. Whoops. So I can see we've got clean candles to that point. And I choose the lowest point of any bullish candle at support, which is here on a 30, between a 30 and 15. And that to me is a zone of liquidity that price could bounce off. We're tapping into the hourly support just now. All right. Are we going to sink through it? Or are we going to begin to pop back above? I was really crossing my fingers hoping that this wasn't going to break at that point. That I was going to wait for the stream. Because it has been difficult to find a good entry for a couple weeks. It's been tough. I mean, no trade's better than a loss, but still. Five-minute looking good. Yeah, so the sells are looking a bit better because you're pushing quite strong now. But again, you're at the hourly support, not the hourly support. Technically speaking, you might have a interruption limit order sell as well. Has to close 10 pips or more below. You know what? I might be willing to risk it for the biscuit. Just based off simple price action. I know we're at an hourly support though, so it is a little off-putting in that regard. But the 15 minutes give me a signal. So the low is 33.79.44. So we've had impulse, pause, engulfing. For it to be valid, it basically has to close there. Stop loss back above previous candle's high. Candle's high. Alright, it's just valid. And it's going to break straight off the bat. Man, gold's done this all week. Yeah, so it's gone. Broken low. Doesn't really have an upper wick. And that's... it's Gonski. Had to have been the impulsive entry as it broke the low of that candle. So... no entry there. But... looks like it could come down further. Yeah, not enough of an upper wick for me. Definitely not enough of an upper wick. Very similar to the one earlier. I would have preferred to get involved layering in. So see now that's looking better. If it does flip and actually break its own low again, it looks a lot better. $30 pip margin. $33.7709, $33.7689. All right. it's tapped into all of that bullish candle. Pulling back quite far though, because you want to have this upper wick as your stop loss here as well. But I see no reason for it if it was to continue bullish and bounce off this hourly support just now. See absolutely no reason for it to break its own low, and if it did, then I reckon we could be heading back down to retest the low point of this 4-hour support and the 15-minute support here. So I'm going to place a sell stop below the low of the current candle, but we can't pull back too far just now, because then you're going to have a way too wide of a stop loss. So 33.7689. Trusting it a little bit more now because the fact we've down, back up. If we are to break our own low, there's a good chance we're going to fill the range. $33.79.6. Angle? No, I'm a little bit lower down. Derek? Nice one. I'm not sure how you do that because I would not be able to open a trade with 76 pence with the leverage here. But good luck to you. Well done. King Yellow in it as well. But we just balanced the 15. Yeah, we'll see. So I'm not in it yet, guys. I'm waiting for it to break its own low. And the way it's pulling back now, it's going to be quite a significant stop loss by the looks of it. So if it does continue to pull back much further, I'm just going to remove the order. Yeah, look at that. Current stop 37, 38 roughly. They used to start to reject. It's not going to do it. It could be bouncing off the support here. They're doing pancake swap prediction. Pancake swap, that's a crypto, isn't it? Oh, it's a decentralized platform, crypto platform. I'm pretty sure, isn't it? I'm not all that familiar with it, but I know I've heard of it. Would it be possible for just running through a strategy? It's basically based on pure price action. There are many different signals within price action. I've got it all documented in the course I created. So I determine a bias, but sometimes the bias is neutral. That bias is determined based on 4 different time frames. Start with my zones on a 4-hour, adjust it on 15 and 30, add zones on a 15 and 30, and look for levels where I want to get involved in trade and wait for a price action catalyst. So right here, gold, the fact that we've bounced at an hourly support. Sorry about the accent, if it throws you off. If we were to begin to pop below the most recent resistance, pop above it, sorry. Looking on the 15 or 30. Look, if it was on the 30 and it happened on this candle, you got a bullish engulfing candle. That would be a cracking catalyst if it happens here on the 15. So I'm going to remove the order, guys. I don't like it anymore. Let's pull back too far. So a closure above will be my catalyst, because we've tapped into support now. I've satisfied, we've tapped into the 4-hour and H1 support. So looking to the left of that, it's the most recent resistance. If we were now to continue bearish, there is not much of a need for us to pop back up and break and close above it. I would prefer the break and closure above. Reason being is we want it to retest, begin to pull away from that zone, and then at that point there's a high probability that it may make the move up, seeing we've got some pretty clean traffic to the left. If I was to just buy it upon a closure, there's a chance it could just pull back and continue to pull back without necessarily breaking the high again, and you're stuck in, you know, losing trade. So I mean, there's different entry types. As yeah, you just have to watch, man. Limit 11, no, I'm looking now. The buys look better. It does pop above this resistance. Oh, Porsche MagicKeys finally arrived. Oh, so you got the physical. Yeah, it's gonna help you, man, especially when you're on the lower time frames. I know I'm just at a link, not a trader, but I started trading now, see? That's all good. Nick trades, state of origin tonight. Straight up the Blues. Yeah, it's not, I won't be watching it. It's not a big a deal here in Melbourne, mate. For the most part, most Melburnians would prefer Queensland to win, to be honest, because of this, you know, New South Wales and Victoria rivalry. But I don't think I could name one rugby player. That's not a word of a lie. Not that I could name any AFL players as well, because I just don't follow it anymore. It's become a wimps game compared to what it used to be. Everyone around the world used to know it as the toughest, one of the toughest sports. Violent, aggressive, no holds barred type of thing, but now it's changed. Now it's almost contactless. Probably doesn't help that my team's been shit for like 30 years. Derek Holmes, yeah, predict price movements 5 minute and multiply your money. I'll wait till a trend and put in. That's fair enough if that's your plan. My up or down predictions and aim to get a high win rate. All right, let's see here. Close above the resistance. I like the fact that we're bouncing at the hour support there, so let's see here on gold. So we wait for a retest confirmation by that position. Yeah. Yep. So closure above and then following counter tap back in. TJ goes global. It took a while to figure it out, mate. In all honesty, a trial and error. I got banned many times, but figured out a way. You gotta be very careful what you mention. Cut out the numbers. Obviously, you can't see the actual numbers on the screen like you can on the YouTube stream. Little things like that, disclaimers, all that stuff. Because I feel like I placed the trade way too early and get stopped out. So what, you're placing it just upon a closure, counter closure, or you're waiting for it to pull back, tap in, and then look for your entry? Yeah, in Melbourne. What time? Aqua blue. M15. Daniel, gold is bullish. Yep. Is my strategy just support and resistance? No, there's more to it. There's limit orders. There's entries out of the range, within it. There's all different ways. Dice NQ. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could still head up a bit. 30-minute structure is bullish as well. All right, so we need the closure above. Definitely need the closure above. If not, you can almost wait for the 30. Not bad. What time frame? 15. Ash problem is a lot of people try to get in early, but don't wait for confirmation and go south. Yep. Exactly. Got to be patient, and it's no guarantee even if you have the confirmation. But I used to do that. I used to think, well, we're going to look to buy it. I'm just going to buy it now, just in case it goes, or I might as well just buy it now anyway. And I used to do all that sort of shit, and then it will pull back in the last minute, end up closing back below. New channel opens up, tiny upper wick, and melts. And then you regret the buy now. Choky, yes, this is the gold. It needs to leave an upper wick. Mark, you played Aussie rules when I was in the forces with the Australian SAS. Loved it. Oh, nice one. How much does it cost? It's $30 a month to have full access to everything. That's all it is. Yeah, the link's there in the profile, or anyone who is interested. But it's a lot more than just a course. You get access to me if you want to pick my brain when it comes to trading. You choose not to, up to you. All right, has to close above here. Again, following some simple rules. Oh man. So close. Joke Holmes, training's best thing I taught myself. Likewise. Never thought I'd be able to, in all honesty. Never ever thought I'd be able to, make it work. But it's all up here. Not giving up, following the plan. Nick trades are no US dollar. And to be honest, it's the bloody platform charge a fortune. So I get roughly, I'd be lucky to get 30 Aussie dollars out of it, to be honest. So it comes down to the 30 here. Choke, yeah, see what you drew, but I think overall it's going to pull back to 3,300. I mean, anything's possible. That is definitely a level of interest, so it could still happen. Yep. So my two options now are weak 15-minute pause, or we just close above bullish engulfing on the 30. I actually think it could still be good. Shoki and then shoot up. Or Porsche, you're gonna get digital version. Digital version is actually really good. Vivek, 8 years. More than 8 years of blood, sweat, tears. Anxiety for the first 3 to 4 years of it. Sweating profusely at like 11 PM during a winter night. And it wasn't because the heater was on. Because I was holding on in a trade in hope or willing a trade on without much idea of why I was taking it. Just wanted to, it was pure gambling. That was more the 6 to 7 years ago. A myth, is there any entry now in gold? No, I'd be waiting for the 30 and the hourly close. The hourly closes again be even better here because we're at the hourly along with the 30 engulfing. So that's the next play because the 15 didn't quite close above. Oh, bears get A2. Well, news, don't buy it. If you're looking to buy, I'll go to London session high. You're talking about pre-London? Vivek going through that phase now. Yeah, just stick with it though. Stick with it. Have a plan, create the plan. And I'm talking about an actual trading plan, not just for a particular entry, or I'm talking about top-down plan for the day, how you approach the charts. And stick to the rules. Have a certain amount of trades you're willing to take a day. A certain amount of risk, whether it be percentage-wise, dollar-wise, whatever it is. And again, you just got to stick to that plan as much as you possibly can. Now, I've mentioned it to my team on a Monday education session, which was focused more on psychology, that we are human. So there's going to be those days where we make mistakes. There's going to be those days where we don't follow our plan. But if you can limit that to as, you know, as least amount you possibly can. So again, you think about it, there's, I don't know how many bloody days you guys are going to trade over here. Let's just roughly say 300 live market days. You're human. I doubt there's anyone here who for 300 days of the year be perfect each day. You're gonna sometimes take a more impulsive entry. Not that it's a stupid entry, but it's maybe against some of the rules. But maybe you're accepting of that and you're happy to take that punt. You know, have a day where you're a bit bored and you try to justify a shit entry. And it might be a win, and it's going to be a day where you get wrecked. So we can't be perfect all the time, but if we can limit the amount of days we get distracted and don't perform to our best, then again, you'll be much better off for it moving forward. Derek Holmes, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. I've seen that. I haven't seen it for a while, but that is, if you actually take some money out of some profits out of your account, you appreciate it more. You begin to, that is a really good point, because then it becomes tangible. If you obviously, I withdraw to PayPal, but then if I purchase something, that becomes tangible. Or if a lot of time I purchase longer term investments with it, you appreciate it more. If you don't, and you say you're just going to continue to build up, you kind of get a little bit emotional about giving some of it back, and you think you have to get it back again. So I'm a believer of withdrawing as well. Elbez goal squeezing time right now. 7.5 minutes. I want it to, let's see. Didn't plan on being on this long, to be honest, but markets me usually, for me it's usually when my wife wants something. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah, that's true. The missus wants something. The lovely missus come all the way from the land of Thai today. Sleepless night last night in anticipation. Save your effects. This is gold. So 6.5 minutes. Want it to happen soon because I want to go and have dinner. Mark, I'm not going to read that out loud. Where would you place stop loss? So stop loss will probably be, I would use a mixture of a few things here. Initially, you would prefer it below the 30, so that would be discount as low, but that's likely going to be too wide. So I would likely have it back below my zone here, which will be below the 15, and then begin to manage it based off this particular candle and also the potential entry candle if it is ticked off. So it's still got just under 6 minutes to wait. Could pump right now. But that's how I would manage it. Elbez gold closes down 33.75, then down watch it. 75. Yeah, to me it's a lot cleaner below 66. But I respect your opinion. Alright, so we are looking pretty good here. We've got, again, why I wanted to tap into this level and why I removed the earlier sell order, because the fact of the hourly support. Now I may look to, if we just drop down, create a low wick, I may scale in on the pullback like I did yesterday with my team, just to get out in a discounted rate. However, it's risky. It's much riskier than getting involved as it begins to pop above the catalyst candles high, because at that point you're getting in with the momentum off the back of a strong closure here on the 30 and the 1 hour. But we'll see. Just depends where this candle closes at the minute. 4 minutes remaining, just over. High. $33.85, 85. $33.86.05 roughly. Derek Holmes, next green candle hyper. Already, yep, read that. Lucky Explorer, if gold goes up. Danielle, 34.10 will be 34.10. Look, anything could happen. GTP, TP would be the resistance. So starting around at 33.95, but in between I would look to secure some partials. Again, I go about it differently. I manage my trades usually quite quickly in drawdown, so therefore I can also manage them in profit. So just create a high here, guys, with 3 minutes to go. What's the high now? 33.8605, 33.8625. Just in a TP again, you look for levels to the left. I mean, I go about a bit differently because I manage trades in drawdown, so I'm happy to secure anywhere from usually the 10 pips above, 10, 15, 20 pips, and then leave it for realistic target. The realistic target to me is this 33.97 resistance. I mean, the other level we could focus on maybe is, I know I've cut through it in either direction, but as a previous data point, that is the only other level I can see, 33.87, which is just above the entry. That's what, about 12, 13 pips above. Just under 2 minutes, guys. Derek Holmes trade made me better. LC pound. I'm not sure. I'm focused on gold. Yeah, I'm not going to do the analysis just now on the pound. I'll see in a trade with it now, so I'll tell you, I'll let you know. I wish you the best of luck with it. All right, please don't pop up and create a high, just to make it more difficult. So of course it freaking is. 33.86. 15, 33.86, 35 roughly. All right, continuation trades, lower wick, and as it begins to break above this catalyst candle's high, you're looking for a potential entry. Possible early entry if it just drops without an upper wick and taps into the high of that bearish candle. That's the way I'm going to play it. All right, so its candle has just opened, and I've just opened a position. So my position is at 33.85, 33.85.19. That's the early entry. If it flips, breaks high the previous candle, that's the better entry. Now my stop loss, I've got it 33.82.38. There we go, 12. So could have secured some profit. You could be in a continuation trade. And that was nice, quick and easy. All right. There we go. I've just secured half. And I'm going to let the rest run. That was at 11.5 pips. I'm just going to let the rest run, and I'm at break even. And that's how I'm going to go about it. So the early entry worked again. Yesterday it worked, but I chose not to actually secure. So today I'm choosing to secure some profit. Yesterday came back, took me out, popped further into drawdown, and then continue. This one is now, you got 18 pip profit on that entry. And you've probably got about 10 on the second entry. If you entered above the high, you'd be safely in profit as well. And patience pays yet again, ladies and gents. There you go, 20 plus pips on the table. Job done. Had to wait almost 2 hours for it. But I always say, wait around, guys, because you never know. Look at that, perfect. There you go. So it's tapping into a target, guys. And I'm going to close another half, and I'm happy with that. And beautiful. So at 26 pips, I've closed. Now I've got 25% in the trade running, and I'm just going to let it go to the target. And that's going to be these highs. Nice and easy. Lemon, nice one. A myth, I've not made an entry in gold. Can I make an entry now? Well, hopefully took an entry. Absolutely killing it, guys. 30 pips plus. Lemon, nice one, mate. Happy to hear it. 20 pips a day keeps the tax man away. I'm looking into things, guys, but I can't disclose information on here because I'm not a financial advisor. Do what Terry? Sorry, butcher the name. In it, nice one. Any of my members in it got to take the before and after. What was, I can't remember what the original stop was. It was somewhere around there. So this goes into an interactive journal for my team. I upload a video with it and I go into full detail what confluences I had and why I took it and how I managed the trade. Oops, so nicely done, good work. Just say G, nice one. Yeah, that's a lot easier. Boon boy, you're in, nice one. From Belgium? Okay. No worries, G, appreciate you joining. Well news, nice one. Tommy, no one is disciplined as Big J. Thank you, my friend. Smash the screen and be much appreciated. So job done, guys. 160 odd of you on stream right now. Do appreciate the support. And patience pays right in the depths towards the end of the stream. Joseph, please, what do I get joining VIP? What do you get? You get, I don't know, countless hours of education. You get a course which took me 15 months to put together, which includes a lot, heaps, over 70 short form videos in that course, plus heaps of detail, not just the actual videos. You get education videos on top of that. You get access to myself. You get up to 6 live calls a week, usually about 5 live calls with the members only. I mean, there will be another one later today for pre-MY. Sim sessions every second Sunday. I mean, there's heaps, man. There's heaps. Just have a look if you are interested. Oh, I love this song. Perfect timing. Brad, hope you're well, brother. Been a while. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good stream. Come back to watch. Appreciate that. Nice one, bro. Appreciate the support. And I hope you're doing well. Trading market question after M30 big candle. Do you think it's not valid? Waited for the small doji candle and then took it. No, because it's engulfing candle. So that is a catalyst. But I again chose to get involved as it pulled back a bit. Get a little bit of a premium on the price, because that to me is a very strong catalyst. And also the fact that it bounced off the hour support level, which I mentioned before as to why I was a little bit concerned by the sells. And again, just following the plan and got the job done. A myth. I have Exness account. How do I join VIP? I don't know what Exness got to do with it. Just links are down below, mate. Get in here. Yeah, links are down below on YouTube, TikTok. They're on the profile page. But guys, again, one thing's for sure. If you seek me as a mentor or my help, please use the service. Don't just sit there and don't go through the content. Don't ask me questions. Don't join any live calls and expect miracles, because it won't happen. It won't happen. I do have trade ideas, which I do call, but it's not every single day. I'm calling 5 trades a day. You're lucky to call 1 trade idea a day, because a lot of the time, if I'm on the live call, that's where the trades happen. I'm not going to call in the trade idea section, because it's called live either here or on the MY call. And if in between, I post it in the trade ideas section, that's for sure, like I did today earlier before the stream. Joseph, during live session with members, do you take... yeah, of course, we do the same thing. We look and wait. We analyze. If an entry presents, we take it. But if not, we talk to each other. We get to know each other. We can talk about charts. We can have a general chit chat. It's good fun. The members are, you know, good people. Tommy, you're in more G cells. Nice one, bro. All right. Prediction for the news. I don't predict the news, to be honest. I don't think they'll lower interest rates at the moment. So off the back of that, maybe a bit of strength in the US dollar, but I mean, who knows? Anything can happen. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. Yeah, again, if anyone wants to know more, links are TikTok on the profile page, YouTube in the description below. Feel free to send me a message. Feel free just to say hello. I do appreciate the fact that some of you appreciate what I do, so I always reply to messages. To my team, thank you and well done. Those took gold buys. Still got 27 pips on the runner. I'll catch you guys in probably a few hours from now. I'll keep you guys posted in the chat. You know the drill, guys. If you're looking at any trades in between, let me know. YouTube, TikTok, thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Justin.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers, buddy. And I will catch you guys yet again, same time, same place, practicing the exact same shit, patience, tomorrow. Till then, have a good one, guys. Trade safe. Don't do anything stupid. Bye, you good people. Cheers.